Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking on my video and welcome to my channel, Love for Yarn 123. In today's video, I will be sharing with you this piece that I crocheted for my kitchen table. I decided to crochet some new coasters here along with this coaster holder, and I incorporated these glitter pony beads, and I thought it was a very cute pattern there. I did them in a variety of colors. My little girl loves this rainbow one. That's her favorite one. Okay, friends, I'll be chatting a little bit about the materials I use for this small project. So for this project, I use a size 4 medium weight yarn, and I'll be demonstrating it in this pretty minty color here. This size 4 acrylic yarn. And I'll be using a small hook for this project. This is a 3mm crochet hook, and you'll need pony beads. This is the pony beads I used. It measures 6mm by 9mm, and I believe I purchased this on Amazon a while ago. At the time, I think it was anywhere between $6 to $7. And I thought it was a good deal for the quantity. So the reason I'm using a smaller hook size was because the center of the pony bead, it says it's a 4mm opening there. So this hook glides on very easily, and I'm able to pull my yarn through here quite nicely. And I originally tried this with a 3.5mm crochet hook, and it didn't come out as nicely. So as you can see, it does fit, but I had trouble putting it in and out. I just thought the hook was too large, and it was just splitting my yarn like crazy. So I had to size down on the hook. Alrighty, but I was going to suggest that if you feel that the 3mm is too small to use on this type of yarn, if you wanted to, you could use a bigger hook size just for these rows right here. And then when we get to the row where we incorporate the beads, you can change to the smaller hook size, a 3mm, and maybe that'll work for you. I just wanted to offer that tip. Alrighty, folks. Alrighty, so let's gather our stuff and get ready. To begin round 1, we're going to create the magic ring and chain 1. In the magic ring, let's do 8 half double crochets. Half double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, pull the yarn. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Half double crochet. Let's do 8. Close out that ring and slip stitch to that first half double crochet and chain 1. All of my rounds begin with a chain 1, and the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. For round 2, we're going to do an increase round in each stitch around, completing 16 stitches for round 2. An increase is doing 2 stitches in the same stitch. So here we'll be doing 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. I'm going to complete this round, and I'll meet you at the end. Here I am at the end of round 2, and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that first stitch and chain 1. And for your beginning tail here, as you can see, I made a couple of knots here, and if you wanted to, you can incorporate your tail with the tapestry needle. You can weave in your end. But I'm going to incorporate it in the next round to hide my tail there. So for round 3, we are going to do 1 half double crochet in the first stitch and then increase in the second stitch. That's the pattern all the way around. 1 half double crochet and 1 increase, totaling 24 stitches for round 3. I'll complete this round and meet you at the end. Here I am at the end of my round. Slip stitch and chain 1. For this next round, we're going to do another increase round. We're going to do 1 half double crochet in the first stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and then increase in the third. That's the pattern all the way around. 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 1 increase. And this round we're going to have a total of 32 stitches all the way around. I'll complete this round and meet you at the end. Okay, so I completed my round. I did a slip stitch and a chain 1. In this next round, we will be adding the beads, and we will also be doing an increase round. So in my opinion, I feel like this round requires a little bit more focus because we'll be adding a bead in every other stitch while doing an increase round. But it's a short round. So we'll be doing 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches and then increase in the 4th. We're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, totaling 40 stitches for this round. And we'll be adding a pony bead in every other stitch. Okay, so let's do a half double crochet in that first stitch. And then I will be adding my first bead. And I just slide it on the hook just like so. And then I'll just yarn over and do a half double crochet as normal. And I will hold on to the bead right there just so it glides through, the yarn goes through smoothly. And there is my third half double crochet, and now it's time for the increase in that 4th stitch. And I'll be adding my second bead there. This is my increase stitch. There we go. Now 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, add a bead, 3, and then an increase. There we go. Alrighty friends, I'm going to go ahead and complete this round and I'll meet you at the end. Alrighty everyone, here I am at the end of my row. In this last stitch, we're going to end with an increase, and the last stitch will be my last pony bead. And I used 20 pony beads around, by the way. Alrighty, here's my last half double. Slip stitch to the top of that first stitch and chain 2 this time. And I just wanted to show you the stitches here. Although the beads are incorporated, you can still see the stitches, these V stitches here. So they're still quite visible for the next round. And for this last round, we are going to do this fun little edging. These points here, this is called a picot. And I like using this as an edging. I think it adds a nice touch of detail there. And it's very easy. Alrighty, so after we do our chain 2, we are going to insert our hook into the first chain. Here is chain 1, and here is chain 2. So insert your hook into the first chain that you made, just like so. Pull the yarn through and slip stitch. That's all it is. Look at that, it makes that fun little point. And then we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Chain 2, insert the hook into the first chain, pull the yarn and slip stitch. There's our second picot. And then slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 2, picot, slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 2, picot, and on and on. That's all this round is, friends. So I'm going to go ahead and complete 40 picots all the way around, and I'll meet you in this last stitch there. Okay friends, so here I am at the end of this round. Here is my last picot, and I will go ahead and insert my hook in between these two stitches. This one stitch here that looks like is a stitch, but it isn't. I'll just insert my hook in there, chain 1 and fasten off. And there we have it. Look how cute that is. Very adorable. I'm totally making this for Christmas in Christmassy colors. Alrighty, and then I'll just take my blunt tip needle there and I'll just weave in my end. All done. Alrighty, let's work on the basket. For the basket, I will be demonstrating it in this very pretty, vibrant pink color, and this is a size 4 medium weight yarn. And I got a little bit of a head start here on the basket. I start the basket at the bottom. So rows 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are the same as the coaster, as the first 5 rows of the coaster. So these are similar. Of course, that last row I did it without the beads, and there's no picot here just yet. So repeat steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with your new yarn, but of course that 5th row does not have the beads, but it still has the same stitch count. So this row here will have 40 stitches all the way around. So just repeat this process right here, and then we'll continue on. So for the next round, after this 5th round, we're going to do another increase round. So for this next round, we're going to do 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, 2, 3, 4, and an increase in the 5th. So follow this pattern all the way around, totaling 48 half double crochets for this round. Alrighty folks, so I'll repeat this all the way around, completing 48 stitches, and I'll meet you at the end. I completed my 48 stitches and I ended there with an increase. For this next round, we are going to work in the back loops only. So for my beginners out there, if you turn your project to the side just like so, you will see these V stitches. And each stitch right here where you insert your hook, there are 2 loops. That's what these V stitches are. So this loop here closest to us is the front loop, and these little bumps you see back there, those are the back loops. So we'll be working in the back loops only for this round. So we are done with the increase rounds. We are just going to work on 1 half double crochet in each stitch around. So we're going to insert our hook. This would normally be our first stitch, right? But we're just going to insert our hook into the back loop only, just like so. And chain 1. Now all we're doing for this round is 1 half double crochet in each back loop only. See, that was this round right here. So you can see the front loops right there, that line. So we're now shaping the basket to go up a little bit, and this row right here helps with that. Alrighty friends, so let's do 1/2 double crochet in each back loop only, and I will meet you at the end of this round. Okay everyone, I completed my last stitch there. I will slip stitch to the first 1/2 double crochet and chain 1. So now it's time to incorporate the beads in the next rows. And this basket here holds 8 coasters in here. So this will give you a rough idea of how tall you want to make your basket. So after this row we just completed, I did 6 rows of beads. And then this row right here is a decrease round. And then of course you can see the picots there. So this will give you an idea of how high you want your basket to be. Maybe you're making just a small set of maybe 4 coasters, 6 coasters, but for me this was good for 8 coasters. So that'll just give you a rough idea. Alrighty friends, so now let's incorporate the beads. We have now 48 stitches around, and I incorporated a bead in every other stitch. So you'll need 24 beads for each round. And that's it. I love this part here because it's very repetitive. So I'll just sit and watch an episode of, I don't know, what am I watching these days? Oh, the new season of Squid Games. That's what I'm watching right now. So I'll just sit there and watch Squid Games and do my 1/2 double crochets. So there you have it, friends. Every other bead, every other stitch will incorporate a bead all the way around, and then you decide how high you want your basket to be, or if you're just doing it exactly the way I am, I did 6 rows. Alrighty friends, so go ahead and complete your rows, and when you're done, I'll meet you at the end. Here I am at the end of this row. I ended my last stitch with a bead. I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that first stitch and chain 1. And I wanted to show you a little bit of round 2 because I don't know if some folks out there may find the next row challenging because of the beads. But as you can see, if you turn your project sideways, you can still see the stitches there. So my best advice is to, just pretend the beads aren't there. The stitches are stretched out a little bit more. You can see a little bit of a gap on either side of the bead, and that's just because the bead is stretching out the yarn a little bit. Alrighty, so I'll show you a little bit of the next round. There's my first single crochet, incorporate my bead, and it's in that stitch right next to the bead. My next stitch, next bead, so the bead will sit nicely right on top of it. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this pattern, if you find it easy to follow. I'd love to hear your feedback. There you go, friends, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this row, and after this round I'm going to show you what I do after I've completed all my 1/2 double crochet rounds. This is just a sample piece. I just wanted to show you how to start it and how to extend the basket. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row here, and then I'll meet you at the end and I'll show you the next step. Here I am at the end of my round, and I ended with a bead. Always end with a bead. Slip stitch to the top of that first 1/2 double crochet and chain 1. Alrighty, so after you complete all your rows and customize your basket, or If you did it the way I did 6 rows of beads. We're now going to work on a decrease round, which is this one at the top right here. So we're going to go from 48 stitches around to 40 stitches around, only for this one round here at the top. So a decrease round, let's do it. Let's do 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. 2, 3, and 4. And a decrease is combining 2 stitches into 1. So here's my decrease round. Yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull the yarn. And then insert your hook directly into the next stitch, pull the yarn. So now you have 4 loops on your hook. Now you're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops. There we go. So these 2 stitches, you turned it into 1. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochets, and then a decrease. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull the yarn, insert your hook directly into the next stitch, pull the yarn, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops. There we go. So let's do this decrease round all the way around, totaling 40 stitches for this round. I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay friends, I just finished this decrease round and I ended with a decrease. Now let's slip stitch to the top of that first stitch and chain 2. So by doing this decrease, it closes up this top portion nicely. I originally tried doing this pea coat edging without the decrease. Big mistake. It was so loose, it looked like I added an increase round. I should have taken a picture of it so you guys can see. But it was like so open and it was just so droopy looking. I was just not happy with it. And I thought a decrease round would fix it, and it did. It kind of just cinched it up a little bit right there, because these pea coats, they kind of stretch out that previous round. And I was very happy with how it turned out. So that's what this next round is. Just like I showed you here with the coasters, we're going to do a pea coat in each stitch around. So real quick, a pea coat is chain 2, insert your hook into the first chain, pull the yarn, slip stitch, and then slip stitch in the next stitch. Chain 2, pea coat, slip stitch in the next stitch, and on and on. And that's all this is, friends. So I'll go ahead and finish this round and I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, I completed my round of pea coat. I slip stitch here, I chain 1 and I fastened off. And I'm just gonna weave this end in with my tapestry needle later, but there we have it. My little girl said she's gonna keep this basket and use it for her rock collection. I was just using this as a sample, but she likes it. It's a cute little basket. But you see what I mean, guys, about the decrease row? The row before this, the opening was just slightly smaller. And after the pea coat, as you can see, it kind of opened it up a little bit more. So it's something about the pea coat that stretches out that last round. Alrighty friends, but there we have it. I hope you enjoy this sweet little pattern. The sky is the limit with the color combos. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you everyone for your time. Till next time. Bye.